Just before the tea break, we have Susan, who is a program manager for the PKD Charity. Sorry, support manager. I've got a voice behind me. So, support manager for the PKD Charity is going to tell us a little bit about the charity and what they can do for you. Yeah.
Thank you, Albert. I've met many of you, and I'm so glad to see people in person today. The last 2 years, I've spoken to people in the helpline. You've maybe joined me online in Zoom calls, but it's lovely to see live people. It's odd, though. I'm used to looking at a screen and I'm on it. I'm not seeing myself today. So a little about support services. The most common thing that people will come across is a question, and they'll reach out via the helpline. They think for some reason we have a huge call centre. Usually when you ring through, you would get myself or Tess. So we're both lovely, both approachable. We don't have a call centre. So we do appreciate that we are only manned Monday to Friday out with, or if we're in a meeting or another call, leave a voicemail, we'll phone you back. Simple thing, but so many people don't, because it takes all their time for them to phone because they're so worried about something. So now that you've maybe seen us, you might phone. Moving on. We support in many, many different ways. Some of you I know are members of our Facebook group, and some of you will look in horror at the word Facebook. Love it or loathe it, it's there. Our groups are all closed, so it wouldn't show to your colleagues, your neighbour across the road. It's only members who would see anything you post or comment on. It's well moderated. One of the ladies today, the blonde, Wilma, is one of our volunteer moderators. So it's a friendly atmosphere. After that, meeting in person. We love to do it, whether it's round a table for a coffee in a cafe. So support groups, they're all small, informal, either in person or in Zoom. Currently, Sheffield doesn't have a support group. I have been approached by 2 people. I would love to get one started, but it'd be the interest from yourself that can make that possible. We can facilitate it. We'd people to come forward that would attend. So if it's something that you'd consider, please drop me a little message and we can have a chat. You might not want to be, but you might just want to come and have a coffee and a scone. So that's a little bit about that. Peer support. Occasionally we go through times of crisis and we want to know how others get on. And I'm sure Sarah won't mind me saying, Sarah and I had a chat before she started Tolvaptan, and she came that full circle from phoning the helpline. We've put her in touch for a peer. She had that one-to-one chat about Tolvaptan experience, and here she is now sharing that with you. So these things are one-to-one. It might just be a one-off phone call. You might be coming up for dialysis, making choices, and need longer term, just someone you can chat to and offload on. We hear so often you don't talk to your partner, your children, your siblings, so there's always someone you can talk to. Let's talk about it. Quite often, again, Sarah came into that where we spoke about Tolvaptan. It was an online small group Zoom call. The topic was Tolvaptan. Another one, getting a kidney out. We know every now and then it does happen. You can't ask a girl at work about it. Not many folk have it done, but usually in the community, it's a topic we'll talk about. So it's great. Again, polycystic liver disease. We've spoke about that. So these are small group online calls lasting an hour. And when I say small group, it could be half a dozen people together, so it's not overwhelming. Live Q&A sessions. These are becoming more and more popular, where we'll ask a guest speaker along and we'll talk about it. We have changed the format so it's not just sit and listen and look at your monitor. We've now made it interactive. You are part of a meeting. So it would be a 20-minute presentation followed by a Q&A session. They're working really, really well. And this week we actually have a guest speaker from Birmingham on the subject of polycystic liver disease. And as he said, it's a topic with more questions than answers. So you might wish to join. If you did you'll find out further details on our website and you'll be able to register for that. That's a lunchtime one. So 12:30 till 1:30. All of these things you'll see there's other topics there. There's previous ones and diet, exercise, etc. And the recordings are all available via our website. So that's just a little bit about those. How do you find out about all these things? You can stay up to date. We do ask that you sign up to either our newsletter, the printed version, or our online e-news. We do not give your data out to third parties. It's only for ourselves. And that's the quickest way of finding out about our events. And finally, the big one, the big reveal. PKD are delighted to be able to say we now have an app. It came into our hands on Thursday. It still is what we'll say a beta, so in other words to us, it's a test product. You will be given a card giving you the opportunity to download it. It will be a 2-part download because it is a test product. You have to download a mini program followed by PKD app. At the moment, we are having a problem with Android phones, so it may take a couple of days before you can get in and try that. But certainly, it's not there to replace our website or information leaflets. It's there as an additional in your pocket. So often, for the younger people who have perhaps been recently diagnosed, you walk into clinic, you're given limited information, you can't take it in, there's not a leaflet. So we're hoping you will get QR codes. Take your phone out your pocket, scan it, and you have at your fingertip a source of information. A lot of it's commonly asked questions. What I will say, it doesn't cover questions that would be involved when you reach lower stages. So it doesn't cover transplant and renal replacement therapy, because that's much, much more individual. So it is geared to perhaps those who are newly diagnosed and at the start of a journey. And that is very much it. So thank you for listening. So that was a whistle-stop tour of our services. Details of our services are in the back of the programme, but the main thing is, you know, we're approachable. So that is it.
Thanks, Susan. Any questions for Susan? That was fast. You sort of, I know you were. I could see that. You're all right. Does anybody have any questions for Susan?
The main thing is, want to set up a new group in the Sheffield area, please do see myself at some point this afternoon. I won't have time to have a proper chat, but I'll even just take your number and catch up with you properly next week. It'd be lovely to get a group established, because I know there is a couple of people in the room who are keen, but we need more than 2.
We have many online who want to get involved in a Sheffield sport group. So
can you drop my email in line for them?
Are they following up?
I won't follow up till Monday or Tuesday, tell them.
So yes, do hand over your information to Susan, let her know.